Alright, Castles Made of Sand. That intro riff is really awesome. So let's see if we can play detective and find out exactly where it came from. Shall we? Alright, so welcome back to another episode of Stitch Method. Today we're going to play Guitar Detective, where we're going to break down the pieces of a famous riff and see if we can come up with the idea or the motive behind that exact riff. We're obviously doing the intro riff to Castles Made of Sand, and it's super colorful and super amazing. And what we're going to do is we're going to take every little bit of evidence we can find, break it down, see if we can come up with why Hendrix wrote this riff the way he did. So let us begin. Well, when you look at that first little part of it, this, for those Stitch Method fans, and I should show you my right hand when I do that, right? Like, when I play this, it feels so much like a G major pentatonic, and I was about to say the major never lost pentatonic, and there it is. If you're not familiar with it, you can check out the Major Never Lost system on my channel, but that is most definitely a major pentatonic. Now, so the riff starts off with that G major pentatonic part, and the way I look at things is, well, there needs to be a chord progression that can follow any riff or any moment, and it's not that there needs to be, it's just that when you're trying to find a riff, usually there's a chord progression that helps shape where these notes come from. So right when we start with this G major pentatonic, I'm thinking a G major chord. Now, if I were a detective, I would start to write down, like, okay, well, a G major pentatonic, G major chord, question mark. But now we gotta get to this next chunk, this next piece of evidence, Exhibit B. He does this riff, and if I were in a film noir movie, this is where I would get my evidence wrong right here, and the movie would begin, because I would be basing everything off this wrong evidence. So let me show you where I went wrong and where you can go right. When he comes in, okay, well, to me at first, it's like, well, I mean, I can see a Form 1 B minor pentatonic. I can see the Form 1 D major pentatonic. Same thing, right? So I said to myself, well, is the chord progression going to be G major, and then maybe to a B minor? No, it doesn't work for me. And the G, maybe a D major, because the D major and the B minor pentatonic. But it didn't work. The B minor, when you play it, it doesn't sound right. And when you play the D, it doesn't sound right. So I was like, what is going on here? And so I re-examined this riff. And the whole idea is this little guy right here. Okay? This little 7th fret. When I'm looking at that, I'm saying, well, if he were to continue with the G major pentatonic, where would my G major pentatonic be here? And that would be on the 7th fret, and it would be 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 8, 10, 7, 10. The Form 4 pentatonic, the root note, the major root note, is right here in that spot at 8. Well, the problem is he's playing the 7. But everything else he plays is in that pentatonic, except for this. So I said, what is it? F sharp, okay. Well, why would we put an F sharp in there? And then it hit me. Whoa, when you put an F sharp on top of a G chord, you get a G major 7. And as soon as I played the G major 7 chord here, I went, yes, that's the sound of this opening riff. What he's doing is he mentally, now, chances are we can't talk to him, but, he probably was playing this chord progression, and he played the G major 7, and he did his Hendrix thing, played the G major pentatonic, added the 7th on that, added the major 7th on the 7th for the B string, and kept it to a G major 7. Now, just to show you, if I keep my bar there, and I put my ring finger on the 9th fret of the D and my pinky on the 10th fret of the A, and I have 10, 9, 7, 7, that's a G major 7 chord, and look at that riff. He's ending, and so I said, okay, Now I started writing down, okay, G major pentatonic into a G major pentatonic, but adding the major seventh, and I circled it and said G major 7, exclamation point, still question mark, just to make sure. All right, so I can see this riff being born out of the mental space of him playing a G major 7 chord. All right, so let's talk about the next riff that he does. He slides from 2 to 3, and then he slaps down the C chord right here. Pretty evident he's playing a C chord, right? And just to let you know, again, I know I reference a lot of my videos, but the Power of the 5 video on my channel, there it is. He comes in on the G, C, E, and G, comes in on the 5, and then he slaps the chord. Awesome. So he goes, and then in Hendrix fashion, and again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I'm sure you've seen it. If he plays any sort of A-shaped chord, he's going to put his first finger where his ring finger was and play the form 1 pentatonic. And what that is, that's a C major chord, and that's a C major pentatonic. So there's his mental space. C major chord, C major pentatonic. It's the form 1, the pinky is the root note, that is your C. So this C major pentatonic, the way Hendrix plays is he plays this, then he does a little bit of Hendrix finagling. I show my right hand, but I hide my pick so well because my fat stubby fingers, so I apologize if you can't see this. But look up any tab. The tabs are great on this. We're just dissecting it. So, now go back to my office and I write down, okay, G major 7th run, right, into a C major run, the C major pentatonic. Then, this is where, again, if I was in a movie, I would have the most amount of stress on this next moment. He goes, and then he does this, 6, 8, 5, boom, 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 and it's like, well, what is going on here? 6, 8, 5. My first thought is, can I see a C major pentatonic in that? And the answer is, no, I can't. There's no C major pentatonic in there. And it's like, okay. And so when I look at this, 6 on the E, 8 on the A, and 5 on the D, it really looks like a Form 2 pentatonic. So let's go over that. And again, if you need help with your pentatonic shapes, I have a video on my channel called Do You Know Your 5 pentatonic shapes? I'll stop talking about that. Here we go. So the Form 2 pentatonic would be 6, 8, 5, 5, 8, excuse me, 5, 8, 5, 7, 6, 8, 6, 8. Now this is what a Form 2 pentatonic looks like. The reason I did that is because that has the feel of it. And so I looked, I said, well, B flat major, okay, well that'd be the root note there, B flat major. But what intervals is he playing here? And so I'm looking at this going, okay, well, this is the 1, okay, 2, 3, 5, 1, 5, 6. The intervals of a major pentatonic are always 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. So I'm going 1, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6. Okay, well, what kind of chord has a 1, 5, and 6 in it? Again, we're going over a lot of stuff. I know a lot of things, but hopefully I can walk you through it. Well, if you take a major chord, which is a 1, 3, 5, and you add a 6, you get what's called a 6th chord. And they're pretty. They sound like this. If done right. There it is. A 6th chord. And so I said, and I'll show you how to play it in a second. And I said, well, is it possible this chord progression was going G major 7 to a C to a B flat 6? And as soon as I did this, I went, yes, you can totally hear the chord progression in his opening riff. So the B flat 6 is middle finger on the 6th fret of the E string. First finger is barring the 5th fret of the A and D. Your ring finger is going to go to the B string 6th fret, and your pinky will go to the 7th fret of the G. So when you hear this opening riff, oh, really? You can also hear so far I'm halfway through the riff, and I'm thinking as a guitar detective, man, I'm onto this, right? And so after this, he really just plays a G chord. Boom. Just whether it's Hendrix like this, but I don't have a long hand, so boom. And then he does this thing, which when you look at this, I'm always looking for the pentatonic shapes of Hendrix. Hendrix was a strong pentatonic player. And so I see the Form 1 pentatonic right there on the 3rd fret. He already played a G major chord, and then he was doing this. So when I look at this Form 1, I'm assuming that not this G is the root note, that this is the root note here, because he just played a G and he's moving on. And so when you look at this, oh, there's that B flat again. There's that major root note of this pentatonic. And you're like, okay, so G, B flat. Okay, so I didn't lose anything. That was good because the computer. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so I think I was right here. He plays the G chord, and he plays after this G chord. He plays this this form 1 B flat chord, B flat pentatonic. Then he comes up to the C, same exact thing, C major. And then he does that cool B flat 6 thing. B flat. And so, let's see if I can work through my frustration here. Everything looks okay. So let's take this riff by riff. I'm going to explain everything. Remember, you have a chance to write this, write something like it. So you have the intro of the G major into the G major 7 part, into the C, B flat 6, G, B flat, C, back to the B flat, right there. There's that B flat, and does a G, then does the B flat again, C, B flat. So the chord progression that I can see coming from this riff here is G major 7, C, B flat 6, G, B flat, C, G, B flat, C, and starts on the F chord. And so my creeping suspicion, if I was to present this case, is that Hendrix had this chord progression and he knew he liked it, G major 7, and everything, and he wanted to write his riff around it, so he busted out what he knew so well, which was his pentatonics. And so when you look at that chord progression again, you can hear Castles Made of Sand intro, boom, doom, da, dun, da, dun, da, da, do, da, do, doom, da, do, oh, sorry, do, doom, da, da, doom, ba, da, do, do, da, boo, doom, da, boom, boom, ba, boo, do, da, boo, do, da. And so it is with a lot of confidence I can tell you, I'm pretty sure that he had that chord progression set and just didn't want to start a song over the chord progression, added pentatonics to it. So now it's your job to do a Hendrix type thing. Again, for a chance to win a Prodigy, a Pack of Prodigy 2mm picks. These are my favorite picks in the world. And so what we're going to do is a simple chord progression, 4 beats each. I'm going to start on the C major to G, A minor, and F, G, and back to C. Alright, so we'll go over that 4 beats on the C, 4 beats on the G, 4 beats on the A, 2 beats on the F, 2 beats on the G. Now what you're going to do is for the C, you got to use a C major pentatonic, any one you see fit. Have fun with it. Find out. You know, if you don't know a lot about major pentatonics, look on my channel, look on YouTube, see what you can discover. When you go to the F, when you go to the G, same exact thing. Stick with the G major pentatonic. When it comes up to the A minor, use an A minor pentatonic. And then when it goes to the F, to the G really quickly, that's your call. You can stick with the chords. If you can find an F major pentatonic and a G major pentatonic that works well together, it's your call. So you are going to write this intro. Now you want to make your chords disappear pretty much. That's the whole idea, is instead of being like, what you want to do is you just want to play like, make the chords disappear. And then you're going to take your entry, you're going to videotape it, and you're going to put it in the comment section below in this video. We'll wait about 2 months. The votes will be by the thumbs up on your link and on my channel. So on my channel, if you want to vote, put the thumbs up. Any questions, let me know. And remember, ask all the questions you want so that on Thursday, after this, we can talk about all the questions you have on the live feed. So, hope this all made sense. I hope you enjoyed it.